Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. You're drifting in the endless black ocean of space. No ground beneath your feet, no air around you, only the faint glow of distant stars. Then, ahead of you, a massive star begins to collapse in on itself. At first it seems silent, but in an instant, boom, it explodes into a supernova. Today, we're going to do something impossible. We're going to step into one of the deadliest, most powerful events in the universe, a supernova, and not from a safe distance, not as an astronomer with a telescope, but as if you were standing right next to it. What would you see? What would you feel? And what would your mind go through as you tried to survive the impossible? What is a supernova? Let's break this down first. A supernova is the death of a massive star, at least 8 to 10 times larger than our Sun. Over millions of years, the star burns its fuel, hydrogen, helium, heavier and heavier elements, until one day the fuel runs out. Gravity takes over, and the core collapses. But this collapse is no gentle process. It happens in milliseconds. The core implodes, temperatures skyrocket to billions of degrees, and then the outer layers rebound in a cosmic detonation. In just a single moment, more energy is released than our Sun will produce over its entire 10 billion year lifetime. To give perspective, one supernova can briefly outshine an entire galaxy containing billions of stars. Imagine looking up at the night sky and seeing one single point of light overpowering every other star, planet, and nebula. So what would it look like if you were close? At first, you'd see the star begin to shrink. Gravity crushes it into itself until suddenly the star rips apart. A blinding flash of light tears across the universe. It's not like a firework or even the explosion of an atom bomb. This is reality itself unraveling in your eyes. Your vision would be gone instantly. The brightness of a supernova is so intense that even millions of miles away, it would sear your retinas. Up close, it wouldn't be light. It would be pure, unbearable fire flooding into every nerve of your body. But it's not only light. The explosion throws off material at about 20,000 kilometers per second. That's 1/10 the speed of light. Imagine a wall of star matter, heavier than entire planets, racing toward you in an unstoppable tsunami of plasma. The most terrifying part isn't even what you can see, it's what you can't. Supernovas unleash a storm of gamma rays, X-rays, and high-energy particles. If Earth were even 50 light-years from one, it could be catastrophic. Our ozone layer would break down, radiation would flood the surface, and mass extinctions would follow. But you're not 50 light-years away in this thought experiment. You're close, impossibly close. The radiation alone would shred your DNA before you could even comprehend what's happening. Cells would stop working, your body would disintegrate at the molecular level. It wouldn't take seconds. It would take trillionths of a second. Now, let's imagine for a moment that you had protection. Some kind of magical shield that allowed you to stay alive just long enough to feel the experience. What would it actually be like? First, sight. You'd see colors that don't even exist in human language. The energy of the explosion would push light into ranges your brain isn't built to perceive. Ultraviolet, gamma, and beyond. If you could see them, it would be like staring into a rainbow that twists and shifts in ways our eyes can't process. Then, touch. The shockwave would slam into you like an invisible wall. Imagine standing in front of every nuclear bomb on Earth going off at once, and then multiplying that by 1 trillion. The pressure would crush you instantly, and yet, if you were protected, you would feel a vibration deeper than anything on Earth, not just in your skin or bones, but in your atoms themselves, as if the universe was shaking you apart. And then, sound. In space, there's no air, no medium for sound, but energy travels, and vibrations could be translated into something like sound if you were inside a suit. It wouldn't be a bang or a roar. It would be a low, eternal hum, so deep and powerful. It would feel like the voice of the universe itself, rumbling through your soul. Let's make this even clearer. The energy of one supernova equals about 10 octillion nuclear bombs. That's a 1 followed by 28 zeros. To even attempt to compare, if you detonated every single nuclear weapon on Earth all at once, it would still be less than a grain of sand compared to the mountain of power released in a supernova. It's enough to briefly rival the light of 100 billion stars. Enough to forge heavy elements like gold and uranium in its fireball. Enough to send shockwaves racing across light years of space. To experience this would not be like pain as we know it. It would be the sensation of your entire existence dissolving, not burned, not destroyed, but converted into pure energy. So, what happens after the explosion? The star's core collapses into something even stranger. Either a neutron star or a black hole. A neutron star is so dense that a teaspoon of its matter would weigh 1 billion tons. If it's a black hole, then space itself is torn apart, forming a region where not even light can escape. The shockwave races outward for light years, scattering the star's guts across the cosmos. And inside that debris are the heavy elements, the gold in your jewelry, the iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones. Without supernovas, Earth wouldn't exist. You wouldn't exist. So in a sense, to experience a supernova is to look at your own origin. Every atom in your body was born in a star's death. Now, let's step back. Imagine actually trying to process this with your human mind. What does it mean to witness something 1 billion times stronger than anything you could imagine? Your brain would try to compare it to fire, to light, to sound, but none of those comparisons would be enough. It would be like trying to describe infinity with the alphabet. And then comes the deeper thought. How fragile we are. A single star's death could erase entire civilizations in an instant. The universe is vast, violent, and indifferent to us. Yet, there's a paradox. Out of this destruction comes creation. The same explosions that obliterate worlds also scatter the building blocks of life. Without death, there is no birth. Without destruction, there is no creation. So what's it like to experience a supernova up close? The truth is, it's impossible. The sheer scale, the power, the violence. It's beyond anything the human body or mind could endure. But by imagining it, we gain perspective. We understand our place in the cosmos. We realize how small we are, and yet how connected we are to the stars themselves. Because, in a way, you already have experienced a supernova. Every atom in your body, from the iron in your blood to the oxygen in your lungs, was forged in the fire of a dying star. You are living proof of a supernova's power. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this impossible journey, subscribe to Never Possible for more explorations beyond human experience. And remember, some things aren't just unimaginable, they are never possible.